A very good afternoon. It's the UBC Lunchtime News with me, Brian Tumwine Biaruhanga. The principal judge of Uganda, Lady Justice Jane Okouka-Juga, has called for a more compassionate and reconciliatory approach to justice, reminding the nation that justice must be fair but also human. She made the remarks while launching the first ever plea bargain camp at Lira main prison, where hundreds of inmates came forward to negotiate their cases with the state. Eddie Olwa brings us to speed.
For the first time ever, Lira main prison opened its doors to a plea bargain camp, a lifeline for hundreds of inmates seeking faster justice and for some a shot at freedom.
The only method in criminal justice that allows you to negotiate the outcome of your case. Almost like you would under the African traditional system, you would sit and negotiate and explain why you need to be treated with mercy. You come with a contrite heart before the elders and they will give you a small sentence and give you a fine. So as critical players coming today to adjudicate, to defend, to play the role of prosecutors over the cases concerning the inmates, let us apply ourselves. So every file you are handling, there is a human being behind it. It is not just a file. It is not just random facts. It is a human being behind it. Please, let's be fair.
The Director of Public Prosecution, Justice Jane Francis Abodo, emphasized fairness and honesty. In a dramatic moment during the camp's opening, Omara Jimmy was acquitted on the spot after his file was found to lack sufficient evidence.
But we found there is no evidence. So you are going home today. So you see the advantages of plea bargaining.
Do not go back to revenge. Take this opportunity. The evidence is insufficient because it can be reopened. That one I needed to caution you.
As prisoners' numbers surge and the youth fill up cells, today's move offers more than just legal relief. With the over 3,000 youth behind bars, prison authorities are calling this a timely intervention.
3,800 is a big force that will be contributing to the development of this region, but they are stuck. Is it parenting?
Find these days a man can afford to have 10 women or wives. Because we are too many and the men are few in saturation.
Lira City Mayor Samatul questioned the surge in crime despite the ongoing efforts from local leaders.
With all this setup, it's so defeating for us that we cannot deal with all this high level of criminality.
With the hundreds taking part and more camps planned, this is a reminder that justice can be swift and also merciful. Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
Thank you, Eddie, for that report. Now, police management has encouraged officers to take advantage of the savings initiative to improve their standards of living. Now, Senior Commissioner of Police, retired Wilson Omodeng, who also serves as the chairperson of the Police Exodus SACCO, revealed that the SACCO is rolling out new products specifically designed to support female officers and spouses of male officers in boosting their household incomes. Our reporter Rogers was on ground and brings us more of this report.
The unveiled product by the Police Exodus SACCO targets group savings and group loan financial products aimed at economically empowering members of the Uganda Police Force and their families through accessible, affordable and sustainable financial services.
Amateur Women Group Tailoring Group were the first to come and be the beneficiaries of this product. So Exodus SACCO is encouraging other groups of police women and spouses to take advantage of this product so that we can promote our growth and development.
The Senior Commissioner of Police, Wilson Omoding, urged police officers to take full advantage of government-supported initiatives, including Emyoga and Parish Development Model (PDM), to transform their lives and the lives of their families.
And these initiatives by government, so as police officers of the Uganda Police Force, we must embrace all these products so that we are all included in the growth of the country.
Exodus SACCO management has launched the new product targeting women spouses of police officers, particularly those working in groups and other business modules.
Today we are very delighted as Exodus SACCO for this product. It has kicked off, and we pray that other members will follow suit to the women group of Kamocha tailoring, so that we all grow together, save together.
Women are decried of the bureaucratic tendencies while accessing financial assistance.
Call upon the president to involve himself to send a team so that we can get a land to build a very big structure so that we can have some trainings of tailoring group.
The SACCO exists to transform Uganda Police Force personnel and their families, liberate them from poverty and improve their standards of living. Joseph Chigozigola, Nasilu Wama, UBC News.
Thank you, Nasil Wama and Golola, for that report. The Deputy Vice-Chancellor in charge of academic affairs at Makerere University, Professor Buyinza Mukadas, has expressed concern over the low number of PhDs being produced annually in Uganda. Now, according to Professor Mukadas, Africa needs to produce 10 million PhDs over the next decade. Adia Nakuti brings us to speed.
Makerere University's College of Humanities and Social Sciences has held the 2025 Graduate Symposium, bringing together PhD students, their mentors, and the university leadership.
It is one thing to go and collect the data, but it's another thing to use the data productively. So when we bring them together, they are sharing experiences. As you heard, we have those at the proposal level, we have those in the field, but we also have those that are at the end. So they share experiences, and you know, peer mentorship is the best in any kind of learning. So there is peer mentorship happening, but we are also able to have these students paced, we call it pacing them. When they get trained and they hear the progress of their colleagues, they also tend to work faster.
While officiating at the symposium, Professor Buyinza Mukadas reiterated the urgent need to increase Uganda's PhD output.
Still has a PhD deficit. We need to produce at least, as Africa, we need to produce 1 million PhDs in the next 10 years. And Uganda as a country, we should by now be producing about 500 PhDs annually. However, we produce about 200 PhDs only. That means we still have a deficit. And however, I'm mindful that even if we have a deficit, I think we have improved. In the last 5 years, around 2020, we used to produce only 80 PhDs. Today we are producing about 150 at Makerere University. Therefore, we have accelerated, we have improved our completion rate to the extent that now one comes in for a PhD of 3 years and finishes in 4 years, and many are also finishing on record time.
According to Professor Mukadas, having many PhDs will accelerate the country's transformation.
Every country needs to plan for its development based on evidence and research-based information. Therefore, when we train, graduate training, we also doing research training. These now, of course, inform policy formulation and also transformation of society. The more PhDs we have, of course, the faster we shall transform our communities and also, of course, improve our national development agenda. I know for sure that one may ask, what is the relevance, what is the connection between PhD and the development of a country? The PhD, once you have a highly skilled, highly trained manpower, it means you use the fewer available resources in the country to develop faster.
The keynote speaker, Associate Professor in the Department of African Literature at the University of Wits in South Africa, Grace Musila, urged individuals who have attained the level of PhD not only to think of success in terms of money, but rather the contribution to society.
To think about their future, their post-PhD careers, not so much in terms of how much money you're making or all of that, but in terms of what kind of contribution am I making, and am I operating at my optimum best? Am I really exploring all the talents that I brought with me? Because each of us in this existence, we came to this existence with a particular talent, a particular way of understanding the world. And as a scholar, you are in a position to make an important contribution to the world. But if you're going to think of success in terms of how much money you can make, then you can make all the money in the world, but you're not a useful scholar.
According to scholars, having many PhDs can benefit the country by boosting its research and development, innovation and overall economic growth, and strengthen the country's global competitiveness. Adia Nakuti, UBC.
Thank you, Adia Nakuti, for that report. The Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Ruth Nankabira, has urged the Electricity Regulatory Authority Lira to prioritize regional electrification and structural security to boost energy exports. The minister officiating at the first ever African Electricity Symposium aimed at powering Africa through smart innovations and sustainable energy growth. Our reporter brings us more of this report.
To ensure continental power stability and an all in African electrification, there is need for harmonized mobilization of funds by all stakeholders in the electricity sector.
African countries have to put money into power generation, transmission and distribution. So we will be sharing challenges that we face on that journey, the challenges of power reliability, because the little power that you have generated has to be reliable.
The Minister of Energy and Mineral Development intends to construct more border interconnection feeders to facilitate cross-border power trade under the East African Power Pool arrangement.
How do we work together? How do we put in place the required infrastructure to enable us do the power trading that can facilitate the connection of electricity to our communities, because the target that we are having is to have the entire continent connected by 2063.
Now we need again to go back to upgrade the distribution infrastructure, to extend the distribution infrastructure, to be able to support the accelerated connectivity that we are going to run with. So largely it is an issue of harmonized planning. It is not a mistake. It is an issue of harmonized planning.
Innovations into sustainable mechanisms are encouraged to ensure clean energy and reduction in carbon emissions.
We would like to see innovations towards efficiency. We would like to see innovations towards clean cooking, for example. The clean cooking agenda, it has a great role it plays in making sure that we have clean energy.
The Electricity Regulatory Authority has committed on more funding towards upgrading of electricity infrastructure to minimize power outages.
The Umeme concession was nearing the end. Their capability to mobilize resources to invest into the distribution network dwindled, meaning the network went through a period where they were just operating and maintaining it, but they were not upgrading. And that is seen by transformers now. Immediately after UDCL coming in, transformers are getting overloaded, and where the protection is not adequate, we are ending up to replace or upgrade those transformers.
The first African Electricity Symposium was conducted under the theme Powering Africa, Smart Innovation and Sustainable Energy for Growth.
Thank you, Charity, for that report. Now, the Uganda's premier platform for medical innovation is back under the theme Exploring the untapped potential of the medical and healthcare sector. The MedTech Uganda and the Uganda Pharma Expo will run from July 1st to the 3rd, and Uganda Pharma Expo will run from 1st July to 3rd at the Multipurpose Hall Wumasho grounds in Lugogo. The expo will showcase medical devices, pharmaceutical solutions, healthcare innovations, and key policy frameworks shaping Africa's health future. Let's see more of the report.
We need to skill. So these are the exhibition and expo. If you have a little bit of interest anywhere, even if you are a student, you must attend such kind of exhibition to meet your vision, how the technology, where the technology is going, what new innovations are coming. So I can proudly say that Meditech Uganda has a lot to serve. You must not miss this opportunity to attend. As long as you are dealing with either pharma or a business person. Today I'm a business person, I don't deal in pharma, but as a business person, if I want to pursue, and that's what we lack, I said skilling. We need to skill, we need to think, we need to create a vision.
This expo is bringing to us the latest technology that we would need, the latest innovations in the drug sector that have been brought on board, because as a country we have a duty to reduce on the revenue. As a country we reduce, we spend when we get some of these services from outside. So our dream is that why can't we bring the good technology, the good medicine, the good services that there is in India? Because every day we have people moving to India to get what we call medical tourism, those who go for services. And then we say, but these are things we can do here. So one of our agenda is to ensure that we increase the interaction in this sector.
Thank you to Global Genesis exhibitor and H Group to organize this wonderful expo, especially medical expo in Uganda, and inviting all of us, especially the stakeholder of pharma business. We are the Pharmaceutical Promoters Association, closely working with the NDA to bring a special and quality medicine in Uganda at very, very affordable price.
Transform this knowledge from the global market into our locals. So for me as a practicing doctor, this comes in so handy to come and learn and also share knowledge and experiences.
As the UMA, we recognize the very indispensable role such platforms offer in terms of advancing collaboration, dialogue, innovation in the healthcare sector. So currently, Uganda's medical device market is undergoing a very drastic, remarkable transformation. And this is being driven by the increasing demand for advanced, affordable, and innovative technology.
Let's continue with UBC Lunchtime News. Now, sexual harassment and neglect remain a major challenge for people with disabilities, especially when involved with able-bodied individuals. Now, this concern was raised by Peter Baluku, the Executive Director of the Kasese District Association of People with Disabilities, in an interview with our reporter. Let's see the details of this report.
Persons with disabilities still face sexual exploitation and neglect, particularly in relationships with able-bodied partners. The Executive Director of the Kasese District Association of People with Disabilities, Peter Baluku, says some individuals even consider it a curse to be in a relationship with a woman who is disabled.
In most cases, people or men love these young girls with disabilities during the night. But during the day, they don't want to associate with them. They run away from them. And therefore it becomes worse when someone is already pregnant. These people don't want to share because they know they are either burden or they are a curse.
Baluku called on leaders to implement policies that safeguard the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities. Bishop of South Rwenzori Diocese, Nason Baluku, called on people of faith to support and care for the vulnerable, especially persons with disability.
Encourage Christians that have resources, and even those that don't have resources, to ensure that when somebody is in the nature of Jemima, encourage men to become men of character, not men that just do whatever they want to do. But thanks to God that Jemima was able to produce after the pregnancy, but there are people living with disabilities that have passed on because of that. So
he built a house and provided safe water for a 42-year Jemima Kabugo of Chanya Upper in Maliba, Chanya Town Council.
With her disability, she was able to walk such a very long distance to come and meet her bishop. The house is in place with gravity water. As a person living with the disabilities, she has her toilet inside her house. She can have a shower inside her house. This being a very hilly place, I was so shocked to hear that she could come out at night.
Jemima Kabugo expressed gratitude to the bishop, saying she has often suffered abandonment and hardship whenever she becomes pregnant.
Thank you, Farida, for that report. Now, members of the Uganda National Science Academy, in partnership with One Health Trust, have called on policymakers, communicators and researchers to promote safe and accurate vaccination and immunization messages as a way to combat the rising drug resistance. Now, this call was made during a roundtable discussion on the role of vaccines in addressing drug resistance held at Golden Tulip Hotel in Kampala. Let's see more of the report.
So in here we are specifically focusing on the impact or what potentially we can do with vaccines to mitigate microbial resistance. And there are different ways in which these vaccines can mitigate that. One is when we generally vaccinate against the normal regular vaccines, we reduce the sickness in the communities against those infections. And therefore the community is more healthy and they are not going to fall sick, and therefore they will not be seeking use of antibiotics.
And once you reach that stage, you reach a stage where children or adults get infections and there's no treatment because nothing works. And that is something we have to work against and to prevent. What are some of the ways we can decrease drugs no longer being effective against organisms? Is by immunization.
The message is simple. We need to improve vaccine uptake so that we can, as a measure of mitigating AMR. And what has been discussed here is how vaccines contribute to that in many ways. For example, by reducing the burden of disease, which ultimately reduces the consumption of antimicrobials.
Uganda and UNAS leading the way in this work, I think bodes well for us, and also your commitment to be here to discuss these issues. We are grateful to Professor Byabagamba who first brought this work to us at UNAS years ago.
25 minutes past 1 p.m. UBC Lunchtime News takes a short break and we shall return with more news.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. *165 *80#. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You will now enter the draw to win school fees for your child for a whole year.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the rider selection campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
It's a FlexiPay cashback explosion. Shop and pay with your FlexiPay. Cashback instant. It's a FlexiPay cashback explosion.
It's a FlexiPay cashback explosion. Simply shop and pay with your FlexiPay at activating outlets and enjoy instant cashbacks. Terms and conditions apply. Stanbic Bank is regulated by the Bank of Uganda, and customer deposits are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund up to 10 million Uganda shillings.
Welcome back from that short break. Now, UBC Lunchtime News continues. The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has handed over business toolkits and equipment to over 66 groups from the 29 districts across the country. Now, Minister Betty Amongi, who officiated at the handover ceremony, reaffirmed the government's continued commitment to eradicating poverty through various development initiatives. Let's see more of the report.
Congratulations. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
The Juakali program is designed to transition the 92% of Ugandans working in the informal sector into the formal economy.
One of our core objectives is to empower the ordinary vulnerable people so that they are able to change their lives. And to change their lives is for you first to tell yourself and convince yourself and approach the ministry and say, I am doing this enterprise, I require ABCD to expand my business. So we must thank His Excellency the President. We must thank Cabinet for accepting to put this money.
The ministry outlined the criteria for group selection.
Following criteria to arrive at the selected groups. All beneficiaries should be Ugandans. They should be organized in groups with a minimum of 5 members per group. We would give a motorcycle to a group of 5 of you together. We want to encourage you to work together, to save, open up an account, and if that boda can generate for you 50,000 a day, you can be banking even 30,000 a day.
Beneficiaries were urged to put the equipment to good use, remain operational, and create employment opportunities.
We urge you to utilize these toolkits for the improvement of your livelihoods back home and communities. The equipment is not for individual or the group leader ownership. It must be used as agreed in the Memorandum of Understanding you will sign with the government.
I'm representing and I'm a chairperson of Pastors Development Group. We as pastors, we decided to start
a small group because we are leading many people behind us. I'm leading more than 150 people, 65 men and 80 something, they are women's.
Items distributed included washing machines, salon equipments, agricultural, walking tractors, and motorcycles, among others. I'm Bantu Machabe Semambo and Winnie Ainembabazi for UBC News.
Thank you, Semambo, for that report. The program officer in charge of livelihoods at Source Children's Village, Tom Kakoza, says the Grow Equal project has helped reduce domestic violence by engaging caregivers, especially women, in green income generating activities. He noted that women financial contributions through eco-friendly work have improved household stability. Our reporter has the rest of the story.
Earning from it. A number of interventions we are doing in this area. We are supporting the caregivers in engaging in clean energy. They are using energy saving stoves. And on top of that, we are also training them on how to preserve the environment and to know the green economic activities they can engage in. As SOS, even at the village here, we are supporting our caregivers through the family-like care. Also use clean energy where they are using gases and also energy saving stoves in their households.
It comes in and also reinforces our few small, whatever limited efforts, because they eventually impact the population and it is to the advantage of government.
How do you want the government to implement your programs?
Okay, one of the most critical things is, of course, strengthening the government structures, especially at the grassroots. Because when we are working in these communities, we work closely with local councils, we work closely with sub-county leaders, we work closely with town council leaders, we work closely women, all these things. But those structures are not very strong. For example, if you look at the position of a community development office at a sub-county, you find these people really have limited budgets, yet they are dealing with all sorts of things to do with human beings, human life.
To meet them.
8 of Africa's top rugby nations will descend on Kampala more prepared, focused and determined than ever, all chasing a single dream, a place on the rugby's biggest stage. Now, as hosts, Uganda has left nothing to chance with upgraded facilities and the iconic Nelson Mandela Stadium set to roar with passionate fans. This edition promises to be bigger and better. Let's see the details of this report.
8 of Africa's top rugby nations will descend on Kampala more prepared, focused and determined than ever, all chasing a single dream, a place on rugby's biggest stage. As hosts, Uganda has left nothing to chance with upgraded facilities and the iconic Nelson Mandela Stadium set to roar with passionate fans. This edition promises to be bigger and better.
Good rugby. We want to really market our country, and we hope that as many people from the different countries will be able to come in. Things of visas and airport logistics and what will be very easy because tourism board is on board.
Highly important to us because they are part of our rugby, of course. And of course, last year we didn't have a wider base of players on the 15th side, but adding them onto the setup will really give us a helping hand, more energy in the team.
On the pitch, the rugby cranes are already on high-performance preparation tour in South Africa, laser-focused on keeping the Africa Cup trophy on home soil.
Up until the moment that Uganda hosts a World Cup, this is the highest level tournament in the region. So it is very important. I hope and expect and urge the fans to come in good number, in good spirits to cheer our cranes on during the event. And we're going to be there to help execute and show everybody a good time.
Nabachibi Doreen Malaika, UBC News.
Thank you, Malaika, for that report. Now, still in sports, with just 4 days to the first 100 days of his term in office, Uganda Olympic Committee President Dr. Donald Juakali has outlined key focus areas for his new executive. Let's see the details of this report.
As you asked, it's going to be close to 100 days since we assumed office at the Olympic Committee and Commonwealth Games Uganda, and there's been a lot that we've been doing. We have had an induction of our new members. Our commissions have been recently launched. We are beginning to review our strategic plan. We're getting ready for major games like the Islamic Games. The Africa School Games should be the first of their sort. The African Games in Angola in December, but also the Commonwealth Games in 2026. So altogether, as the new executive, we have hit the ground running. We also have a number of issues we are working on. Top on our priority is getting our home. We are in very advanced talks with the government and the KCCA to get land for our office and center, and very soon there will be an announcement, so stay tuned for that. Some of the key issues that we really want to work on is how do we build our portfolio with our partners. We are still in very good talks and collaboration with the Nile Breweries, Sanlam, Plascon, Uganda Tourism Board. So altogether, the last almost 100 days have been insightful, impactful, and quite exciting.
UBC Lunchtime News has come to the very end, and I am Brian Tumwine Biarohanga. Goodbye and God bless Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.